What's up, everybody? This is Enlightened Masculinity. I have my special guest, Mr. Guerrero, aka Jose Ibarra, is longtime IMC student and really been involving fast lately. He's been a sponsor of the last like 7 or whatever private parties that AZD has done. That has been just incredible. We've done a lot of episodes on that. So this is your first time to the show. This is the red pill of masculinity. Obviously, it's enlightened masculinity, right? But this is a red pill stuff, taboo stuff. So enjoy the ride. And if you're a returner or whatever, leave a review and all that good stuff. I'm, of course, Yogi Chris, PhD, founder of Ninth Film Yoga, director of operations here at Base One in San Jose, where, we run our monthly gatherings off of the teachings of AZD and all the teachings that comes from. The backbone of TM and transcendental meditation and evolutionary psychology and pickup and game and martial arts mindset and so many things, Eastern philosophies, Scientology, it all comes together, and we have the other sponsor, Jose Raul Cervantes, Oracle, aka Oracle, on. So that's great. I mean, we got other beasts on, Kenny Simmons, the Prophet, and TXL is here, Trent Lara from Alien Country, Roswell, New Mexico. But we're featuring Mr. Guerrero. I almost just want to hand it over to him. He's been so dedicated, so disciplined, so committed. And, he first came on the scene. I've told the story before because I've had him on the show before, but he came on the scene for me around Love Spells. So it was like 2.5, 3 years ago. And when those boot camps started coming out, then he was consistent and I kept seeing him. And, but he had been around for many years before that. Now, lately in the last 2-3 months, I've seen the most evolution, really in the last 30 days, the last 45 days, I've seen the most evolution out of him, with the exception of one big event when he confessed a bunch of stuff and he changed overnight. But then I saw a plateauing for a while, but he kept showing up, he kept going. And there's really no such thing as plateauing in this. It's just building up potential for the next leap. And so that's what I've seen happen. And, if you've heard him before on the show, you'll hear a difference as soon as he starts talking. He doesn't have to try. He's different. So what's going on, Guerrero? He also won the speed dating competition. So he's the speed dating champion. Who'd have thunk it? I didn't think it, but at least one other guy, Freedom Ranger, who was at the party, thought it. And obviously Guerrero thought he was going to win, and he did win. And so he won. He beat me. He beat everybody. So here he is, Mr. Guerrero. What's going on, brother?
How's it going, Pimpin' Yogi? I'm right here, ready to speak about anything, man. What do you want to talk about?
Well, you wanted to talk about the AZD process. And
yeah.
Fun for you and what you're seeing, how it's helped you and what you're seeing it helped other people. Just what's your observations, man? To give us the state of it, for you.
Man, it's been a journey, and there's still so much to come. I'm so excited for the event that's coming up next week, and then the TM next week after that. So that's going to be even more next level. No, I've been on the AZD process for a while. I followed them for a long time, and I think everything's starting to click now. Little by little, it's starting to click more, and all the seeds and all the seeds that I think were planted from his teachings, from Prometheus, Metamorphosis, and all those are starting to sprout.
Wow,
they're already starting to sprout. Well, because I don't know. I just think that my voice has come out more, and they're starting to sprout. Yeah, it's starting to sprout. As in, I think the private moment really opened up those seeds that were in the dirt.
Let's talk about that. So the private moment. So this, if people don't know, it's almost like it's an acting technique, and AZD does it in the way that Manu taught him, calibrated for our audience. So we'll have 15 guys here at the base, and everybody's observing one guy sit there and do his private moment. He's just living privately. He has a few more instructions about, bring some food, or it depends on what it is, but he'll just sit there and ignore us and be there for 15 minutes. And after he does it month after month, he starts designing how he's going to do it. And, so tell us, it's a 15-minute, very quiet, everybody observes, you do this thing, and then you get all the feedback from everybody. AZD gives you feedback, you give feedback. So it's an hour per person gets this intense observation of themselves, kind of a feedback of their beingness, or so to speak. And that's part of the sponsorship level of, when people come to camp. So there's a camp next weekend, like Mr. Guerrero just said, and he's a sponsor, and he's going to do another private moment. And so tell us about it.
Yeah, like I was saying, that private moment, it has really opened me up a lot. I'm not sure if everybody saw my first one, how horrible, not horrible, how so much tension there was in me, how I was so clogged up, and that first private moment was so powerful because, like I said, I was just so much stored up energy was in me, and it just wanted to burst out, and I'm glad it bursted out in that form because I don't know what else how else it would have. I probably would have slapped someone like Chris Rock. You know what I mean? It would have happened something like that if at some point. And
Wow.
but yeah, that to me the private moment has been very helpful. I've said it before. I think everybody that's in the Dragon's Lair, Lion's Den, whatever you want to call it, should go through that, and it would really take them to the next level. Like I said before, I would like to see TL's private moment. Like I told him, him reading something would be fucking badass. Miracle J, his private moment, and Kenny James here, and Raul's. Well, Raul, I already seen his private moment, and his first one was was hilarious, hilarious, and it was very emotional to go through. And then obviously yours, Pimpin' Yogi, your private moment it was captivating from the beginning. But that's what I think. I think everybody should. I highly suggest that the private moment, and it's not the same. You could do it on a video and then post it online. You could do all this other stuff, but it's totally different when you're in front of a crowd, man.
Not just any crowd.
Not just any crowd, yeah, a good crowd of strong men that are gonna see through the bullshit. If you're yeah, if you're there doing a private moment and it's not genuine, it's gonna show. I don't care who you are, especially Oracle with his third eye. You could see, you know.
Yeah, you really feel everybody's observation, and it's not even just a crowd of strong men. It's a kind of strong men whose opinions you care about.
Yes, exactly,
Right?
exactly.
But we don't care about anybody's opinions here. We just, but that's when you realize how much we do. And
Yes.
right, talk about that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't care other people's opinion. I really want men that I respect. All these men right here, I respect. I see how strong they are, how they carry themselves, and their ethics, and that's what I see. I want feedback from them. They could talk shit or not talk shit, but give criticism in a way, and now I'll take it, man. I'll be able to take it. I got no problem with it, especially when it's these type of men. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and
If it's a fucking weenie in the grocery store, get out of here, man. Don't
and
give me
the
that
thing about it is the weenie could be so intelligent,
shit.
and yet it's a different kind of intelligence, because the intelligence, the feedback of the beasts, or the feedback of the guys that are attending these events, like there's an intelligence to that is beyond vocabulary. It's beyond, like, how verbose you are, or how you enunciate your grammar. It's yeah, you could call it applied intelligence. It's definitely, it's survival based intelligence, and it's a natural intelligence. So it's not necessarily like an intellectual intelligence, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's makes sense as a phrase. See, that's intellectual intelligence. What I just did, I was like analyzing the grammar of those words. Does that really make sense? Versus a natural intelligence of, something that is more true, in the sense of, like, I think when they round tires and they make them round and they call it like it's true, like they're truing a tire. I think Raul might know that. Like, when you true a tire, I think that's a phrase. When you make something more like symmetrical like that, you make the wheel more round, or you make it true. This is a verb I could look up. It's something my dad would say, and it's not slang. It's a real thing. So it's more true, not in the sense that it's more elaborate. It's more true in the sense that it's got stronger integrity, because a round wheel has stronger integrity, right? It's not going to flatten as well. It's not going to warp as much. So you true it so that it's actually, so the truth of the, the feedback from the guys is, it's more honest. I don't know what to say. There's just so much. The weenie, I'm more and more realizing that the weenie, or the liberal, is retarded. It's retarded. His or her ideas, their functionality, how they function in the world. Like they are retarded humans compared to what they could be if they just had right ideas. Their ideas have retarded them. And, so the feedback of a clever weenie is still retarded. I don't know. That's probably not politically correct, but that's a happy episode, right? I was just trying to make it make sense for myself.
No,
that's funny, Prophet. Yeah, we totted. So the private moment, your voice has been coming out. The seeds are, sprouting. And any seeds in particular that come to mind?
To me, my voice, man, and also I've noticed more people approach me, more people respect me. I could just see it, man. I could see it's hard to explain, man. It's just I've noticed that people respect me more, people treat me better, and it's all from the private moment, because I'm like in my own zone and they start admiring the either chest slaps or whatever I do, because when I go to work, I start to apply like the private moment. I'll be like this or slap my chest or whatever, and before I would never do that. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, nice.
And now I'm at work and all these guys are looking at me doing this, doing that. Even the girls that are working, like, what the hell? What is that? Oh no, I'm just getting my energy up. That's it. Yeah, I'm getting my energy up. Nothing fancy. And they start admiring me, and I could tell they're looking at me. They're like the cats, looking. And before I would be all nervous, like, oh, I don't want them to see me, all this and that. But putting up that fourth wall, I would have never known how to put that fourth wall up if it wasn't for the private moment. You just can't do it.
It's true. It's true. Well, I remember when he taught it early in the Lion's Den, and I was beasting at the park every morning, and I was practicing what I understood it to be. And I think that after doing so many private moments, or so many, 5 or whatever, that I think it helped. It was a practice that I was doing, and not the same as private moment. It's just like it's not even the same. It's not even close. But there is some element to it. But definitely the private moment enhances that idea of like a fourth wall and separation from the audience. And it's been real powerful. You also, after I've been slow. I feel like I've been slow and plateaued in my private moment because I didn't want to learn a monologue. And I couldn't find a monologue that I liked. I kept looking, didn't like any of them. And so I finally settled on like a 5-minute monologue. So that it's not going to be memorized by next weekend, that's for sure. And so we've been doing this communing with nature. And I can tell that that's been changing you because your vocabulary's opened up. In English, your English vocabulary. I don't know if you talked like this in Spanish, but has it opened up your Spanish vocabulary too? Do you journal in Spanish or English?
English. I haven't journaled in Spanish, but it'll be unique. I think my Spanish words have come out also. And yes, the commune with nature has really enhanced my senses. Uh-huh. I was talking to Jaime not earlier, the time we went out, how my smell has been so enhanced. I could smell Beth's breath a mile away. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like we went out with base 3. I went out last weekend. There was a group of girls that smelled like armpit. I could smell it, and I told them, "Hey, bro, those girls smell like armpits." I'm like, "Really?" No, I smelled that. They're dirty, man. They were dirty, and my nose has really opened up. That's one of the things that has opened up a lot, and my hearing too. Even though my left ear is not very well, doesn't work very well because a little bomb went off when I was a kid. Those toy bombs, you press it and you put it in there, and then my ear rang for a while. But then as I go up to commune with nature, it opened everything up. And like I said, I could smell bullshit, man, pretty much.
Yeah, because if there's not mechanical damage to the ear, a lot of times it's the trauma of it. And then someone around us said, oh, he lost his hearing. And then it goes into the mind that I lost my hearing or something.
Yeah, it was ringing for a couple hours and I couldn't hear shit. And that's what they thought. They thought I was like,
exactly. I believe it. And if maybe there's mechanical damage, maybe something's broken or whatever, or maybe for 3 hours you were traumatized and recorded everything they said as a truth, or maybe both. It's a blend, because that's so cool that it would start to open up. I get it. I'm colorblind, so they say, and I fail the test every time, but I feel like my colors opened up, but I'd probably fail the test anyway. But whatever, it's a feeling. It's also relative to where am I starting. If I started deaf and I start to hear a little bit more, then all of a sudden, well, I'm hearing everything. You know, if I start blind and all of a sudden I start seeing something, I'm like, I see everything, you know, and you'll navigate everything like the Daredevil superhero.
Hell yeah. And another thing about the community with nature, you have to have guidance, and the guidance from AZD that time. Well, remember at Straits how he explained it and did all that. It does something again. To you.
I've listened to it once. I was there, and then I listened to it once, and I want to listen to it again.
Yeah, it does something to you. It just he speaks to that part of you that needs to be spoken to, so you could wake up, and then you go out in nature and it's like, holy shit, I see what he's talking about. Because I've been in nature before, but it's nothing like the guidance from of someone that knows what he's doing, a teacher. So you need that.
I want to go deeper into nature too. Maybe when you guys are here, maybe we can go to that trail on the mountaintop and walk somewhere. Maybe see some eagle. So that'd be dope. Because I haven't made it too far out. I've just gone to like local parks on my bike right here, and it's been great. You know, I've seen some hawks.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. I've even actually went out to the desert because you know, I'm a truck driver also. I actually went out to the desert, which is nature also, and I walked in the middle, and it was way different than the mountains. I can tell you that much. As soon as I walked in, I walked out there, I felt the environment extracting water from my body, whether it be my eyes, my nose, my hair, wherever. It just started extracting it, and I'm like, okay, this is a totally different environment, and I was admiring it and everything, and it's so fucking awesome, man. Even desert, even the desert.
Yeah, I admire all nature, and I've seen so many natures, but I didn't have this process, so I probably was not appreciating it as much as I could have. And I mean, it's not even a probable, it's a definite. So yeah, it's very interesting. Almost want to read Communing with Nature. Yeah,
do it. Let's hear it.
I've never done this, and I almost want to go back to one of my first ones because I've reread those. If I read one of my recent ones, I don't think it's going to be, I'll be shy, be embarrassed.
This is an exclusive, guys. Remember this: Matthew, Kenny, Prophet, Tap Motherfucking Addicts, Cervantes, yeah. Exaltes, and TXL, and you, Mr. Guerrero.
Man, I could read you mine from today or yesterday. Some of these are longer. I'll just do today so that it kind of reduces choice because I'm shy about this. I've never done anything like this. 3/11. Oh, sorry, April 16th. 3/11. The wind tickles the earth hairs called grass. I remember how I missed the sky yesterday. An oil painting on canvas, the sky. Blue, grays, and whites. I can feel anything in my heart. I love my life. Why? Because I feel good? The bird chirps appear to me. I read that last sentence with the wrong intonation. I'll read it again. I love my life. Why? Because I feel good? The bird chirps appear to me. Notice your senses. At the same time, relax. These little black birds do breaststrokes through the air. Sit regal. What would make the trees miss me? How could one be fat in nature? Weed quiets the noise. This was the first time, my first private moment that I didn't start off my private moment smoking weed. I just started it, and then like halfway through, there were a couple of thoughts about smoking it, and I just kept thinking, it's my mind, fuck it, fuck off. And then once I felt inspired, like I was like, I wonder what weed would do. And so I took a puff and then put it out, because I've reduced my weed intake from 3 joints a day to 1. So I say, weed quiets the noise. I hear nature more. It raises my internal sense of my body, so trapping my attention in it. The park is my body. I'm breathing back and forth with it. Good job. First, good job. First communion with nature, not smoking to start. I was applauding myself, and it felt really good when my mind said good job. Like I felt this shakti, like the other day, it was like a genuine good job. It wasn't like a thought. Good job. First communion. I wrote PM for private moment, but that's not what I meant. I meant communion with nature. Good job. First communion with nature, not smoking to start. Life isn't hard. It's busy. The spike of the plant slides into my flesh so easily because I touched a plant. It just went right. Feel the velvety soft leaf as if it were my last. 3:41, time ended.
Dude.
Yeah, was it good? You liked it?
Yeah, I don't even know what to say, man. I pictured everything and it relaxed me. It relaxed me. I don't smoke weed. I've never smoked weed, but
yeah.
Wow, man. I enjoyed it.
That was fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Feel good.
It was great, man.
Thanks.
To me, I enjoyed what you said. The air tickles the hairs of the earth, or what you said?
Yeah, that was the first line.
Yeah. From the beginning, it like grabs you, grabs your attention.
The wind tickles the earth hairs called grass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it looked like to me. And I wasn't high, remember. I just sat there. As I sat down. I just raised my voice to my mom, actually, because she was talking about some bullshit. I'll talk about it tonight on Gathering if I get a chance to. All these things, all these steps on the path, all these cobblestones, all these footstones on the muddy path to self-improvement, self-mastery, self-enlightenment, whatever. What's the difference? If there's a difference, I don't know how there could be a difference, really. Unless there's wrong names here. Like a lot of self-improvement should just be called mental improvement. I don't even know how true that is, really. Anyway, I'm getting off the point. So communion with nature, the AZD process, is there anything else that you'd have? Because you seem very, I know you made a list, and you seemed also motivated right before we clicked the record that, you've changed a lot, Guerrero. And maybe we could even talk to other people about how Guerrero has changed. As people noticed, we got Matthew Tropsch nodding his head. He's new. He didn't see Guerrero 2.5 years ago, but that's great. He's even seeing changes. And, everybody else, everybody here's the beast. It's a pretty intimate. We only got 9 people on, so it's a smaller call, but they're all beasts, part of INC Nation movement. The recording's probably going to get great stuff. You were also speed dating champion, so we could even talk about that. I know it was like 3 weeks ago, but do you still think about that? Did you tell your girl? Is she proud of you? Like, Jesus Christ, that would be great to come home to your bitch and she's like, my man, the speed dating champion, he's the best. All the women voted for him. He's the greatest, and he's mine. I got him.
Well, to me, brother, tell you the truth, I saw it already as a win, even if I didn't win the whole competition. Like I said, just being in that environment with your peers and watching them grow, it's so cool. And then you yourself grow, obviously. But I didn't think I was gonna win. And in the beginning, the first couple ones, I thought I was gonna win. I'm not gonna lie, but then afterwards, I'm like, you know what? I already won.
The first couple rotations?
Yeah. No, the first couple, the first parties.
That's so funny. Parties. I did too. Never won. I always thought I was gonna win.
Yeah, I thought, oh, I got this shit, and then other people win. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then it kept going, it kept going. Then at the end, it's like the surrender experiment and all that. You know, maybe there's something better going on. But at the end of the day, I started to admire the people around me, because once you admire yourself, you can't help it but see the goodness in everybody around you. And then once I saw everybody's evolving, I was like, shit, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's helping everybody. There's no, as long as you stick with it, it's gonna help everybody, even the person that can't talk.
Yeah, and it's really divining it. Like, it's gonna help everybody. What is it?
It's gonna the AZD process.
Mhm.
The
What would that be if you could dumb that down for, let's say there's audience, let's say this podcast episode is discovered by someone non-IMC. What is that in your world?
Well, just like AZD said, it's a combination of private moment, untethered soul, surrender experiment, and L. Ron Hubbard. It's all, and obviously it's AZD's process, man. The way whatever he created, those are the main things. If you just follow any of those things, you're gonna evolve, man. It's just impossible not to. Like I've told AZD before, I would never have thought I would get my voice out. There was points that I wanted.
That was touching. That's when you won the speed dating party, by the way. I think that's when you won, when you were standing up giving your speech, which up until now never has a sponsor won it, by the way. So all the sponsors have given speeches, none of the sponsors have won it. What are the odds? What are the odds? Because we're experienced with women too, so we know what we're doing. We're mature, like we have money, like we have what are the odds that out of like 6 speed dating parties and 4 out of 10 or 4 out of 8 of the contestants have been sponsors, that none of the sponsors ever won? I think the girls have a little bit of an agenda there, not voting for the guys that are the top guys. I think they, but I can't say, I think the other guys legitimately won too, but this time, or this last time, Guerrero gave them no choice. They could not vote for him, because if it wasn't for my mentor, I didn't think my voice was ever going to come out. And it was such a moment. Here's this grown man that never thought his voice was ever going to come out. But thanks to this man in this event, my voice has come out. And it's obvious. I'm not just saying it, but I sound different. Boom. He won.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I said. Like, I never thought my voice would ever come out. And thanks to that man, AZD, and the process, and he's guided me through it, man. Like I said, I couldn't even say hi to people, women, anything. I couldn't do none of that. And
yeah, you were very quiet the first camps that I met you.
Yeah. And he just knows what he's doing, man. More props to that man.
Yeah, it's I've said it before, maybe some of you've heard it, that the mountain always looks closer until you start walking. It's further than it appears. And that's, when you see the top guy on the planet in this thing, what he does, and you admire, like, it's a lot further than you think when you start walking the path. But if you're making progress and it makes sense, and it keeps making sense, because as far as I've come, I'm not there yet, but as far as I've come, it's all made sense up until where I'm at now. That's how I got to where I'm at. And it looks like it makes sense from where I am now to where I want to go. But until you walk those steps, because you don't see all the steps in between the steps until you start getting closer to it. And, a lot of those steps, uncomfortable steps, for weird reasons, man. This whole thing, Jesus, the words coming to me right now, it's really simple once you get it. It's just so uncomfortable to get it that it makes it hard. But once you got it, then it's easy. It's like once you learn the form, how to do the push-up or whatever, then you got it. Once you learn how to play that song on the guitar really, really well, like you got it, you remember it for like ever. For like 10 years later, you didn't pick up a guitar, you remember that, or a piece of it, something about it. And then I am proving, barely playing any guitar, that I'm remembering things that, like, just because I remember one little thing, that I can then grow the rest of my memory off of. And, and it's simple once you got it, but man, it sucked learning those songs. It was so fucking the coordination, and I wouldn't say that it sucks learning this process. That's the analogy I'm kind of making. But maybe I'm kind of venting some of my own stuff at the moment. Guerrero, did you feel like you plateaued before this last private moment? Not but before, let's say before even any of the private moments.
I don't know if plateau is the right word. I felt like I wasn't getting it. I'm like, why am I not getting it?
When did that change?
Private moment, man.
The first private moment, that's when it changed for you?
Not well, the after maybe the second one, because the first one I was still like, what the hell's going on? I was just so much tension and getting the feedback and all that. But like I said before, it's like I felt like I wasn't getting it. I'm like, how the hell
when
am
did
I
that
gonna
change for you?
like I said, it was the private moment and the parties and being live with AZD. That's it. Just being around him.
So was it a gradual change over the last 6 months where you realized you are getting it, or was there a moment that it stopped? But that the negative thoughts of I'm not getting it, was there a moment that you noticed that was gone? Or
maybe
left?
after my last private moment.
After the last private moment.
And after reading the Surrender Experiment and the Untether the Soul.
Did those all happen at the same time, or was that?
Well, after I read those two books, and then the private moment happened, and everything's just starting to click even more.
Had you just finished the Michael Singer books before your private moment?
I finished the Untethered Soul, yes, but not the Surrender Experiment. That one was after.
After the private moment?
Yeah, after.
The Surrender Experiment's more like inspirational. The Untethered Soul is like the tech of it.
Okay.
Right? That's the technology. The Surrender Experiment is the story of like how he surrendered his whole life and became a billionaire or whatever. The Untethered Soul is all about, what it is, how to surrender, how to untether your soul, basically, is what it is. So
yeah, just like AZD said, you learn from the nervous system, and I think that's the best way. Because I was on the classes, I was in boot camps or whatever, I was online, I was watching all his stuff, like over and over, listening to it, and it still wasn't clicking. And then after,
like, what do you mean not clicking? What were you looking? What?
Well, I didn't see anything. I didn't see any improvement. Like I would try to in myself. No,
like
I would try to apply whatever was applying, and then my nervous system was fucking scaring me or whatever. It would trigger me, and I wouldn't move forward. But like I said, I think if really after the strip club, the first taboo event and all that, everything started clicking, going out all the time, and just going out with AZD and being around him. That's what really clicked. That's what everything started to sprout. Like I said, that's
okay. I'm gonna say I don't know this, but I don't know why I got to that place where I didn't think I was getting it. I have suspicions, but it's just me. I just don't know. I know what brought me out of it was ethics. And it happened twice. It happened, what's up, J-Sock? It happened before the last party, before the last camp, right before it. Because I was feeling really good. And it was maybe a week before. And I complained about some things. I got some things off my chest and, went through that whole situation. And then my state improved a lot. And then this last time, like 4 or 5 days ago, again, it was just I complained about some things and got it off my chest. I was like refusing to complain. And it's not that it's good to complain, but like I didn't know how to say it otherwise. So it was just getting trapped inside. So the complaint was at least some form of communication. And then going through that situation, and then I improved again. And so I'm becoming more aware of this tendency of becoming aware of this manifestation of trapping thoughts inside of you and what it does to your emotional state, your mental state, and like, the sense of, am I improving? Am I getting it? Like, because literally change nothing else, give me no new teachings, just make me happier. And all of a sudden, all the teachings come. Well, the teachings are there. Make me feel down about myself, and none of the teachings are there.
I see.
And for myself, like I would get so narrow in my consciousness that like the teachings are still there. I still have my habits and whatever. I'm going through the motions, but it's like, it's just not myself. And probably none of it is myself, even when I'm happy and operating like that. Sometimes I get so happy and enthusiastic, I'll blurt things out and I'm like, that's not myself either. I'm still reacting to like the feeling. So, you know, I think that's, I'm finding myself in communing with nature. I'm really seeing a lot of similarity between my yoga practice and communing with nature. I really feel like a yogi out there. And man, I could just keep going into the experience of it really, but that's not what we're doing here. So let's see, is there anything else uncovered? We have the gathering coming up. I think everybody here signed up except Zothis maybe. And you know, he'd come if he could. He came to the last one. He'll come when he can. And you know, everybody should come in person. A lot of people are coming in person. Prophet's organizing his private moment, so he's coming here for a private moment before the May camp, I think.
Hell yeah.
And so he'll be in person for the May camp. I think the May camp is $2,000. So in order to come to the May camp in person, you would need to have attended this month's Freedom Camp, either online or in person. Otherwise, you'll have to be online next month if you want to come next month. Next month will be dope. Every month's dope, but it's a change in offering, and I'm really excited to see what it's about. I'm excited. I'm more excited. Like when I feel good, each class is exciting, and you know, man, this journey is really. I feel like it's not said, and so sometimes I feel like a downer saying it. But this journey is hard. This journey is not easy. This journey is not for weak people. This journey is for strong people. You're probably not going to make it. That's how I see it.
There we go.
Now, when I say you, I don't mean me. I mean you. I'm going to make it.
Hell yeah.
So, all right. Well, is there anything else, guys? Any feedback from or Guerrero? Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one more thing. The lectures he gave on ethics really had me going to. It was
AZD?
It was AZD.
Yeah.
That one. I'm talking about most recent. Yes, private moment. All that. But the one like the ethics.
That came right after my complaint, by the way.
Yeah.
It happened last month too, when he called me a wimp or something on lecture.
Yeah.
I'm obviously not a wimp, but when I get feeling down about myself, I act like a wimp. And you know, so that was like a month or a month and a half ago when he did. So this latest round of ethical conversations, it's partly because of Sultan and doing the check-ins and all the ethics that came. You know, I left the check-in group because I didn't like how Sultan had approached me for being 3 minutes late. I wasn't late. I woke up on time. I just posted 3 minutes late. Blah, 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 blah. I just left. I was like, I don't need part of it. I'm making my wake up anyway. I don't need to check in. And then I missed my wake up, not the next day, but like a few days later, because some drama happened. Like, I mean, some super sick drama. I don't want to talk about it because it's a public now. And I'm very uncensored. I say it all, but now I'm getting to the level where things are like, I don't want to say them because. So I'll say them in the gathering tonight. I think I have said some of them in the gathering. So I missed my wake up and, you know, it was just me not handling situations right and this and that. And I started making my wake up again, but I was stacking withholds on other subjects. Like I wasn't, and, you know, and I still have those and I'm finding ways to like let them out, but, you know, it was just bottling up and I complained in a way that was very similar to the month before. And then we got these series of ethics lectures, which I tell you, if I had been fake, it would have repelled me. Like I would have blown off anybody who's read the book. I would have left IMC Nation if I had been fake. And that's intense because that's like, I don't want to compare myself to like a girlfriend, but that's almost like if you could imagine like his main girlfriend leaving. It's like almost hard to believe that something like that would happen. And yet it's possible. And, you know, all because of just withholding a complaint that's not even that big a deal. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. But each time I make it past that, and that's why I think he offered me to always have a place with him. And because I made it through that, you know who didn't make it through that? Aikido. You know who else didn't make it through that? Eugene. You know who else didn't make it through that? Beast. You know who else didn't make it through that? Malachi. You know who else didn't make it through? Like, those are ex-coaches that, why did they blow off? Why did they run away? Man, there's something that they were withholding, some complaint about something that they were unsatisfied about this or that and weren't getting it or whatever, or something like that. And otherwise they would have given a perfectly reasonable explanation that the other person could have understood. But there's some irrationality. And, so I made it through that. Each time I make it through that, I get, I don't know if he does it on purpose. AZD is so wise. It's hard to say what he's doing on purpose and what he's just doing by following the way, the Tao or whatever, which is one and the same. I mean, it's very wise to follow the Tao, but I mean, versus like intellectual wisdom, like he's doing it on purpose, like dog training almost, versus like doing out of some instinct of goodness or whatever. And, each time I go through that and I come out on the other end on top, I told a few guys, I got out of the mud. I got my head above mud. Now I'm breathing again. I mean, those are literally messages I'd sent to AZD. I was like, I can't breathe, like pressure on my chest, like this or that. And then later I messaged him like, my head's above the mud now. I can talk like this or that, but I'm still kind of in it. Like, these are what I'm saying. Like, it's a language. And I feel as if I get rewarded on the other end of that. And, this last time the reward was that. It was like, and he said at dinner, he was like, and you earned it. And I was like, I don't know what I did to earn it. I didn't say that out loud, but I'm like, what did I do to earn it? I've just been doing what I've always been doing. Like, nothing changed, nothing new. But I attribute it to like, coming clean, cleaning out, being willing to go through that. There's courage, and whatever. I feel like I'm just chattering now. Sorry. I don't talk enough in my day, I think. And so when I get to podcast, I just like want to talk. And but everybody, I respect your time. You're here. This is out of your day. You took an hour out of your day to listen to Guerrero and I talk. So we'll wrap it up. This is kind of closing remarks, Guerrero, and anybody else. We'll hand it off to Guerrero first.
Yeah, I was talking about these last lectures that have really hit me, and then this recent one was about the knowingness, about that sixth sense or the knowingness.
And these are all part of the Freedom Gathering. So if you attend the Freedom Gathering, you get these recordings. Yeah,
and after that lecture, I couldn't sleep. I had so much, I don't know if I felt a presence in my room. I don't know if I felt energy going through the top of my head all the way down to my toes. It was just weird, and I could not sleep that night, even though I was up from 3 a.m. working all day, and I couldn't sleep. I didn't sleep, and I still woke up and went to work. And I don't know what it did, man. It did something to me. I felt like energy, like a top of my head, like going through.
It opened your crown chakra.
That's what it's called?
Yeah. If it's outpouring through the top, it opened the energy center around there. And that's what happens when you get information or wisdom that is related to universal consciousness. Because our chakra system is related to physical consciousness, emotional consciousness, ego consciousness, a relationship with other consciousness, or creative consciousness, or a creative identity, rather, is a better word even, or how we identify with creatively expressing, how we identify with our self-image, like what our ideal self-image is going for. And then lastly, our crown would be like identity, our universal identity, like our Godhead identity, like one with the universe. And so when he started talking about intuition versus thinking and how to release the little you to tap in with like the matrix of the universe, I mean, that's universal consciousness information. So it sounds like that really lifted a lot of mental weight that was clogging or blocking your energetic access. Miracle J is eating this information up. It was blocking your energetic access to out the crown to the universe, would be how I see it with energy.
Hell yeah, man. Like I said, that was so freaking, I even got incense, went around my room to each animal, Bruce Lee, everything. Thank you, AZD. Thank you, universe. I was like, what is going on here, dude? What is going on? And I've never felt that before.
Nice.
You could say I was going a little crazy.
That's Kundalini. That's what people that's what happens on Kundalini. So Kundalini is that energy that goes up the spine and was coming out the head.
Man, I remember Michael Singer saying, if you one time he said, if you don't know how to take that energy, you're gonna blow up. But obviously, it's not gonna happen to us. You know what I mean? He said, there's so much energy going through you. You have to, go in it at a certain level, because if it goes through you right away, you're gonna blow up and be out of this here.
Yeah, you could blow a fuse. Plus, you have so much tension in your body that as you're releasing tension, it takes energy to keep a muscle tense. Muscle doesn't just tense on its own. You burn calories keeping a muscle tense. So as you release tension, all that energy, where's it go? All that energy you were using. That's why if you're like injured and you're walking around with a limp or something, you use a lot of energy in that motion, that when you align, all of a sudden you have more energy. But no, you always had that energy. You just have more freely available energy because you're not using it to protect a sore spot or keep the tension.
Hell yeah, man. This is so awesome, man. Next week is the camp. And the after that is the transcendental meditation. We're gonna be up in the mountains.
Retreat, yeah, we have our own retreat.
Man, that's gonna be
amazing.
Next level, man. Next level.
All right, and pretty soon, maybe even yours truly might have a new vehicle to be driving everybody around in. Need to decide on it. Yeah, I went to the BMW dealership and Mercedes dealership. They were okay.
Hell yeah! What are you gonna call it? The Pimp Mobile or what?
That would make sense. Yeah, man, when you say that, now I know which one of the cars were my favorite when you say that. The only thing is from the outside, it looks too normie, looks regular. It's a BMW that looks like a regular, it's but the inside, it was amazing. So we'll see. I want to test drive a Jeep Wrangler also, but I'm kind of running out of time if I want to have it, for the camp. So maybe not this camp, but we'll see. Manifesting, what Tony Robbins says, you overestimate what you can do in the short term, you underestimate what you can do in the long term. So I'll probably have a garage of Bentleys or something one day. All right. Oh, Miracle J, Prophet, you had your hand raised, brother. What's up?
Yeah, man, I thought it was the perfect opportunity to speak on Guerrero's evolution, man, because I remember those early days. And, I've had some personal conversations with Guerrero. And as he continued the process and what he was doing, a lot of the things that we spoke about kind of like fixed himself. Like, because at some point I became I don't want to say guru, but the professional, I would say. I was seen as that when it came to speaking. And I mean, people still come to me for that, but I was given pointers and little things for him to try. And it seems like the more he just got deeper and deeper into his process and these private moments and everything, all of that just fixed himself. And I can say like he's a completely like different person, man. It's like super evolved. Like if there's a Jose Barra and then there's Guerrero, and he's moving closer and closer to Guerrero.
For sure. I mean, you could spend $15 or $20 or $25,000 easy over the next couple of years on beer and sporting event tickets and fucking HBO and some movie rentals and pizza delivery and bullshit after bullshit after bullshit that you'll be devolved. You'll be less evolved than when you started. And, but you got to really love yourself and value yourself and see a lot of potential in yourself to invest in yourself like that, because it's such an intangible and everybody will criticize you. Just as some of the listeners are probably thinking, that's ridiculous. Well, I would never do that. It's because you're an idiot. So good luck to you. You'll be listening to this show in 10 years and I'll be even so far ahead and you'll still be the same. So that, and in the grand scheme of things, that's just a drop in the bucket. And, evolution is a hard thing, mental and spiritual and psychological and whatever you want to call it, evolution of the human being. It's a difficult thing to measure the value of it. What the fuck? You can measure a Tesla, you can measure a chair, you could measure a bowl of rice, sort of. I mean, if you're starving or you got to get to the hospital or, your leg is broken, like all of those things, the value goes up. But, personal evolution, man, it's hard to put a value on that because it's what one sees in their own potential and what they could do. And, so the people that are investing or continue to show up and invest in themselves, that they see a great potential in themselves. And that's really fulfilling to be a part of that. And I think you're fulfilling a lot of people, Guerrero, by changing. You're fulfilling all our dreams of growth and evolution. It's really possible. It's not just a fairy tale.
Hell yeah, it's possible. And like I said, it's so cool to see everybody else's evolution also. Like I see the evolution from Miracle J and everybody else, Miracle J, TXL, everybody that's gone to the camps afterwards, they're changed. They might not notice it because there was times where like you said, I probably plateau, I'm not learning. But there's a Stoic quote. I forgot how it goes. I was never judge a man's growth, no matter how slow it is. And once I heard that quote from the Stoic, I'm like, hell, all right, man. You may be going slow, Guerrero, or whatever. Eventually, you're gonna get there. So doesn't matter how slow it is. It could be an inch, it could be half an inch, it could be whatever. But the point is, you moved forward, and you didn't stay where you are, or you didn't move back.
Yeah, and you know, one of these days I want to talk about the other men's movements and some of the guys that leave IMC Nation, and you know, some of the things they say, like they're retarded. They don't understand. They're compromising their long-term evolution for some short-term sensual success or whatever, and it's not going to go well for them. Like,
yeah, look, I got a lot of success in the beginning with AZD. I went out, I would be with a lot of girls, I would this and that, but I still stuck with it because then maybe because they left not right away, but they would leave soon.
Yeah,
they wouldn't stick around with me. They would just leave right away. I'm like, oh shit, what happened with me? But so I'm glad it happened right away than me being with the chick a year, 2 years, and then doing it, you know. So they would leave me after a couple of months, and then it just kept me going back. And even now, even though I have a lot of success right now, it just makes me want to keep going forward. I don't want to stop, man. If you stop, that's when it's gonna fuck up.
Nah, man, there's so much potential left. We're just getting started, dude. We're babies. We're not babies. We're like grade schoolers. Some of us are babies. Matthew Tropsh is a baby. Nah, in this process, right? And you know, but that's great because that's better than other people. They haven't even been conceived yet, or they're fucking rotten, or they're like, you know, what do you call it? Aborted. They're aborted.
Yeah,
This is aborted. You know,
oof.
Nathaniel's aborted. He's an aborted baby. You know what I'm saying? So that's way better to be like alive and kicking and growing, and you know, have a bunch of big brothers that, you know, are there for you. So, right. All right, everybody.
Hell yeah.
Attending. Thank you, Mr. Guerrero. It's been a pleasure. And I'll see everybody at the Freedom Gathering. And if you're just watching this episode, then definitely subscribe and follow and leave a comment. All right. Os.